we'll just give it a few minutes for people to hop on.
Okay.
So the goal is that we're gonna video this so we can then roll
Post
it.
it on
Yeah.
YouTube. Let's cycle through Facebook. Like you can watch it on your own, right?
I think so.
We should probably. I mean, can you tell who's on?
Let me go on my phone and see.
Who's?
Huh? I want to like go up there and see. There's like names on there.
No, I'm not seeing.
We show up and no one's there. We just do it. You and I do it.
Yeah. Well, and I think it like cycles through. Like somebody could be like, oh, like
Oh, yep, we're live. 3 people are watching.
ah.
Hi.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, but mine's a little laggy. So right up here, you can see that you have 3 people.
Ah. Oh,
Hi, lady. Okay.
who said that?
Tina McKenzie said hi, ladies.
Hi.
Hi.
Yes,
Be
we
interactive.
started. We are gonna get started then with the few of you that are on here. They're coming in. I feel like I want you to read what's being said.
Yepers.
Okay. So typically 3D Balance is held at the office and in the evening. Is there another question? No. But we have decided to do it online now since everything seems to be going online. I'm not used to doing this online, so I think we're all having like a week or two of like disclaimers, like bear with us as we figure out this online stuff. So, like I said, 3D Balance is typically held at the office on Wednesdays in the evenings, but I think we're gonna for now do Wednesdays at 3 on Facebook Live, and then we'll post it through YouTube when we figure that out. This class is typically in like a classroom setting. It's interactive. There's groups of people, so as always, I'll have Carly's here and can read as questions come in. Any physical issues that you guys are feeling, that if you feel like sharing it with whoever, I don't know if you guys can see other people's posts or not. But yeah, just make it as interactive as we can through the online course. So yes, 3D Balance, we start the class going over steps. This week we are coming to the end of the month, so we're on step 6 and 7, which is live life in 3D and do it daily. We touched on that a little bit in the Live and Learn yesterday.
Do you want to talk about, maybe for those who may not have gone to that, give a little overview of what the importance of this class is?
What's the importance of this class? So this class is, I think we have several other kind of classes in Living Well that you go on them indifferently. So Live and Learn is kind of like you sit in a circle and it's more discussion. And I would say 3D Balance, it's time for you to go inward and focus on what's going on inside of you. It's quiet, it's relaxing. If you can go there, I think it's a stress management class that teaches you how to reset your button. We talked a lot about resetting your button yesterday, and doing it daily. We'll have some conversation, and then we'll go over some really basic stretches. And I always encourage people, take a couple stretches with you, ones that you enjoyed, ones that you thought, oh, I want to perfect this in a sense, and kind of, whether it's 3 or 5 stretches, take them with you and try to incorporate them in your everyday, day-to-day life. I asked my mom, I don't know which one to use, if she could talk about 3D Balance. It's not a yoga class, it's not a meditation class, it's not a HIIT work. I mean, it's a very basic stretching class, and I will post throughout this time some videos of workouts that I'm doing. If you want something more intense, I'll attach links of other workouts that I thought were helpful, that weren't super intense but got a good stretch in. So I think I'll ask you to describe why this basic stretching and breathing and meditation class is so unique and different compared to like a yoga or a class like that.
Yeah. So the 3D balance class was created because as we started taking care of people who had physical, mental, or spiritual issues, it seemed like a lot of times people were disconnected inside of themselves. So we take care of athletes or people who are very interested in being physically healthy, but maybe they're stressed out or ridden with anxiety, and so their mind and their body were they were working in overload. So 3D balance class was created so that we could teach people in a very short amount of time how to go inward and connect your body to your mind and to your spirit. So some people, they love to go to the gym and whether they're cardio rats or they like to lift weights, and some people like to do yoga or Pilates or Zumba. 3D balance is a class that just allows you to be connected to your body physically and begin to take inventory. What's my body feeling, and how does my body, certain parts of our body as Kylie goes through our head to toe, where do I carry my stress? And then how do you begin to connect with that discomfort and then to press through it? So it was created because both Dan and I are chiropractors, and we started taking care of a lot of people who carried physical stress within them. And in this season with the coronavirus and people being afraid, and you need to boost your immune system and take vitamin C, and realize that stress compromises your immune system. So if you guys are sitting locked in your homes and you're bathed in a forest of fear, afraid to do anything, that fear compromises your body's ability to be healthy. And so a lot of times when we're stressed, we contract our muscles get tight, and we get achy. And so 3D balance it's an individualized program that Kylie leads in this class, so people can begin to explore. Some people carry stress in their shoulders, other people carry stress in their low back or in their extremities, headaches, and all of that is our bodies. It's an expression of we're stressed out. And so this is a class that will link you to your breath, that will link you to your muscle tension, and then will give you an opportunity to kind of just begin to connect and move from a place of freedom. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think we do want to talk a little bit about the steps or go into stretching.
Yeah, I mean, I think, on Live and Learn yesterday, we talked about step 6 and step 7. Living Well Lifestyle Program, for those of you who are not familiar with Living Well integration at all, it's a 7-step program that incorporates principles that are basic for everyone, regardless of your age. The steps are, step 1 is to take responsibility, step 2 is to renew your mind, step 3 is to renew your spirit, step 4 is to renew your body, step 5 is to maximize your resources, and as Kylie said, 6 and 7 are live life in 3D and do it daily. So that information, you can always go online to our website. There's a lifestyle recommendations there that everybody can do their own individual program. Some people like to do this in community, so you have accountability with each other, and some people go on a Living Well experiential, just going deeper, trying to figure some things out for themselves.
Mm-hmm. So I think live life in 3D and do it daily. It kind of it's placed at the end of the steps. It's placed at the end of the steps so that renew your body, renew your mind, renew your spirit. It allows you to explore that for yourself and then try to walk that out in your day-to-day life and do it daily. Do you think these save to the page? These? They do? Mm-hmm. I think you can check out the Live and Learn class where we talked about this steps 6 and 7 yesterday, and we'll go into...
Just for those of you who are wondering, Cardi just brought the other dog in, and she spilled the coffee. And so, remember we said this is us, we're just learning how to do this. And, that's Leo. If you ever come into our office, we usually have Leo or Nala there. Carly, the dog, spilled coffee from Starbucks on the carpet. Sorry for that. We interrupt you to recognize that. This is how Living Well we roll. Is that life happens, and some people, we get stressed out because we're like, oh my goodness, Cardi, get the dog out of the room. What are you doing? Why did you do that? But that's how life works, and so now we're going to focus, we're going to go inward, and Cardi's going to probably try and get rid of the dog, and we'll put her outside in some other place so Kylie can get back.
Do you want me to
to stretching.
I'll be right.
Yeah, for those of you who are penned in your house and you're not alone, enjoying solitude of really digging deep and finding out what really stresses you out, but you're penned in your house with your children or your spouse, or
Take the next 30 to 40 minutes to just either sit on a chair, get a blanket, lay on a blanket, go in a closet, just kind of, I always encourage people when they come to class, make this time your own. We will go over tools here in the next few minutes to talk about how to kind of clear your mind and let whatever is built up go in the time being while you're focusing on breath, your mind, and your body, and learning how to reset your button and go inward and hopefully feel better at the end of this class. So, okay, we'll start by, you want to lay down or sit up? We'll lay down. No, we'll sit up.
I'll lay down and she can sit up. The goal is to just get into a comfortable position.
Okay, so I like to start eyes closed, connecting to just your normal breath. I think there's no fancy breathing right now, just start to be aware of your normal breathing patterns. I think when I started teaching this class, I was a little, I don't want to say insecure, but of the quiet pauses that are held throughout this class. I think silence sometimes causes people's mind to wander and disconnect from what I'm trying to teach, and so I encourage you guys to just, whenever there is a silent pause, just let your body relax, let your mind clear out, and focus on your breathing. So we'll spend just a minute of just normal breathing, checking in with yourself, and we'll do what is called a body scan, which is scanning your body from the tips of your toes to the top of your head, whether you want to flex the muscle and then relax it, or just send breath to that part where there might be tension or stress. Maybe you hit a part where you're like, oh wow, I didn't even know I had pain here because my day was filled with XYZ, and you're just now acknowledging a certain pain. So go ahead and we'll just take the next minute to do a body scan. And while you're doing your body scan, we encourage you to just become present with what is going on right now. Kind of funnel your mind into your current situation. So focusing on your senses is one thing that we encourage, whether you're listening to the sounds, if that's my voice, if you have music playing, you have a window open and there's birds chirping, just listening to all the surrounding sounds. If your eyes are closed, sight is then canceled. The touch, what are your surroundings? How do you feel? The smell. We have, what are those called? Essential oils. Smells like lemon in here. The taste, just focusing on all of your senses and allowing every thought that goes through, acknowledge it and then just let it pass. Don't linger on it. Just let that go for the time being. Allow gravity to do its job and just sink into the floor, into the chair. And you can go ahead and start to deepen your breath. The 3-part breath is filling in your stomach, your lungs, your ribs. And then on that exhale, really releasing all of that air. You'll feel your stomach empty. Maybe your belly button pulls inward towards your spine. And just play around with a couple deep breaths. And on each exhale, encourage your muscles to just release and relax. And we'll go ahead and we'll start by sitting up in crisscross applesauce. Okay. So get comfortable in your seated position. Allow your body again to just be heavy. Your shoulders are back. Your face is loose. I took a class before where they really acknowledged the tension that you are holding in your face. You may be clenching your jaw. You may be trying to squeeze your eyes shut. Like relax, and your eye muscles are your face. There's a lot of tension that happens that you can carry in your face. So just encourage you to be mindful of where tension is carried in throughout this stretch. So we'll go ahead and do a couple deep breaths in, and on your deep breaths, rise your shoulders, and on your exhale, pull them back and drop down. So a couple circles of deep breaths in, exhale, drop your shoulders back. And then you can go ahead and circle in the opposite direction. And go ahead and try to create as much distance between your shoulders and your ears as you can. So really allowing your shoulders to drop down. Your neck is tall. Your spine is long and you're sitting straight up. Your hands are on your thighs or out by your side. Just get in a comfortable position. And we'll go ahead and we'll drop your right ear to your right shoulder. And then bring it up through center. Left ear, left shoulder. And just go back and forth in that motion a couple times. And throughout these stretches, you may feel your neck is tighter on one side or there's pain. You want to listen to your body and go to the distance your body will let you go, and don't force a stretch. Again, just listening to what is my body capable of and accept that. Another thing you can try is, as you exhale, your muscles will naturally release. So releasing as much tension as you can as you're working into a stretch. You may find that you're able to go deeper into a stretch as you hold that position and you just catch your breath, relax your muscles, and release further into that stretch. And you can even try, so if your ears, right ear, right shoulder, walking your left hand out a little further, you may feel an extra pull or stretch in your neck.
Remember the tendency when you stretch, that if you have pain, the tendency is to contract and guard that pain. It's kind of it's an automatic response, and so if you can kind of override some of that guarding or that antalgic posturing, that the posture that we present when we have pain, as you breathe and relax, you should start to feel your neck feel more free.
So we'll go ahead and then we'll drop chin to chest. And then bring it up through center and slowly tilting your head back. You don't want to drop your neck back. And then back through center. Again, being aware of knowing your limits and like she said, you may feel that there's pain in this position and your shoulders may scrunch up and you're guarding your neck, and again being aware of that and dropping your shoulders, relaxing your muscles, and then just going back and forth with that motion a couple times.
For anybody who may have a neck injury, sometimes instead of looking up and going into full extension like that, although extension is really important because we spend so much time looking down, is to kind of just bring your chin in and you can get a bit of a stretch underneath the base of your skull. So like Kylie said, you don't want to force it up into extension because sometimes that can be painful, especially if your muscles are tight, but you can kind of, when you look down, is to kind of bring your chin in the same way then come up.
And then we'll go ahead and we just, I guess, technically shook our head no. We'll shake our head yes, so pulling your neck, your chin over your left shoulder, back through center, and then to your right. And going back and forth, acknowledging again, are my shoulders tightening up? Is my neck becoming tense? Taking a deep breath in again, relaxing your muscles. And then hands down by your side, and go ahead and roll out your wrists into your arms, and we'll go ahead and hands by your side. Start to rotate your arms in and out. And this could just be a really loose, relaxed stretch, or you could even flex your arms, tighten your muscles, hold a certain position, rotate, and you'll feel that stretch even deeper. And yep, while you're doing this, slowly bringing your arms up at the same time. Trying not to, again, pull your shoulders up. Allow them to just be relaxed. Relaxed. When I started teaching this class, I naturally, I think, connect to my breath. I think it's a normal, and once you reach the top, roll out your wrists, and we'll come back down. Breath. I naturally connect to my breath, and a lot of people were like, throughout this, can you remind us to breathe? Because I'm over here about to pass out. I think a lot of people, these are basic stretches, but some people don't do basic stretches, and they'll go into a normal workout and
they're sore.
Yeah,
they hurt themselves. And I think even when we talk about breathing, we talk about body, mind, and spirit. The breath is part of spirit means pneuma. It's just breath. And so when you breathe and you're breathing, anytime you get stressed or your mind's going crazy, just think about your breath. And I think, Kai says that she automatically does that. When our kids were little, if they hurt themselves, if they were bleeding, if they were afraid, we would hold on to them, or we would just say, find your breath. Just keep breathing. So that's kind of, whenever you're stressed, think breathe. Just breathe.
Well, and I think a lot of people are like, is breath really going to help me? And I think for those who come in here skeptical of like, oh, I'm just going to sit here and try to breathe, in the end, you'll go through a stressful situation and you'll come out and you'll just deep breath in, deep breath out. And I think it's testing that in times when you're like stressed and freaked out or in pain or can't quiet your mind. Trying it for yourself. Okay, so we'll go into, wrists. Going back and forth. Playing around with your fingers. Maybe go one at a time. I remember the yoga on in community, they did this.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and I was like, oh my gosh, we do that.
Well, and I think for those of you, if you came in late or if you're watching us do this head to toe,
and you're like,
there's no rocket science. This is not rocket science. It's just starting at the top of your head, moving your joints, and making sure that you're connected to all parts of your body. And so Kai's, we're just working on upper extremities now, and it's really important. If you're on your phone, over time, if you start using the same postures over years, you can see deformities in your skeletal system, and sometimes that's because you're not stretching. And so these stretches, for some people, it allows you to sustain amazing flexibility and motion that is limited as you age. So yeah, anybody can do it at whatever pace you
Like I
want
even
to.
said, even if you take like, oh, I feel like I'm okay on my upper body, but maybe I need some more stretches on my lower body. Like taking some of this stuff with you and just doing it daily. We'll go into the next stretch. So hands down by your side. Roll out your shoulders. We'll go ahead and we'll lift your right arm, using your left arm to balance you and kind of leaning to the side. And then pull yourself up again, and then back down. And then go ahead and switch sides. Arm up and lean. Head. Whether you want to stay crisscross applesauce or stretch out your leg, we're going to go ahead and do a spine twist. Take your right hand onto your left knee and go ahead and don't twist yourself back super far. Just you want to get a gentle pull using your right elbow and your left knee and twisting. Have your gaze going back. And then maybe go ahead and look opposite direction. We'll go ahead. Is it seated? Is this called seated cat-cow? So we'll go ahead, hands on your knees, kind of puffing out your chest, pulling your shoulder blades back, and then pulling your shoulders front, getting that arch in your back, and just go ahead and go back and forth a couple times. You wanna come in, John? I like to play around with certain different breathing patterns in this, so whether you inhale and exhale out, or inhale and exhale opposite direction, just playing around with your breathing.
Is it okay if I stand up and just go over those in myself, just because? For those of you who might be standing, it would look something like this, and this, and again, doing that a couple times, pretty intentional. And then this way, and this way. And again, just being aware, breathing, relaxing. And the other one was just cat and cow, just
Cat and cow. And then
then going forward. And then coming backward.
got one here right now.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to stay seated or we can get down? So we'll
What do you want to do?
I'm gonna get down on here. Okay, shoulder stretches. So this one, you'll get a nice shoulder stretch. You can go ahead and get in tabletop. So knees under your hips, hands under your shoulders. Go ahead and pick up your right hand, and then you're gonna swivel. Yep, swivel it underneath, and then drop down.
And how would you, if people are sitting in a chair, or could they modify this, or you're asking them to just?
If people
Bend
were
over.
sitting in a chair, what do you think? This would work?
Yeah, I mean, you want to kind of just open up your chest and come down. Again, for those of you who might not be able to get to the floor, I mean, the goal is just look at how we're moving our body parts, and then sitting on a chair or standing, being able to do the same thing.
Or even this. So,
The important thing is to not feel like there's a right or wrong way to move. Everybody's body's different, and I think Kai's taking you through these body parts, but whatever position or posture you're in, just try and move as far as your body will take you.
So if you're seated, you can go ahead and just pull your if you want to do those, and then if you're seated, right arm over your chest, and for that.
And again, remember that when you're doing some of these positions that you might not be moving all the time and it feels a little sore, I mean, just remember to catch your breath, because if you're moving in a way that hurts you, you want to be careful, and you don't want to tighten up your muscles to create even more tension. So be aware of your breath, be aware of even the thoughts that go through your mind of trying to do this, because you're like, oh my gosh, I can't do this, and then you get a negative experience, and you need to be able to be comfortable in your body even when it's uncomfortable.
Which I think, now where you're in your own home, you're maybe in the privacy of your own room, and you're able to just explore and be comfortable. So working your way back up to tabletop, you can go ahead and we'll do cat and cow this way. So dropping your belly button down to the ground, you'll open up your shoulders and your neck, and then curving your tailbone in, your spine pulled upward, chin into your chest, and then just going back and forth at your own pace. And on top of this one, you can even kind of go side to side. So dropping or pulling your feet to the left and then arching, gazing at your feet, and then opposite side. And then going back and just getting that stretch in your torso.
For those of you who might be
Seated.
No, for those who are used to going to a yoga class or whatever, just to let you know, there's a lot of really good online people who are doing yoga instructions now that are great. And I think for those of you who want to intensify your stretch and your strength with Pilates or yogas, that's great. Some of the things that we hear, 3D Balance is not a yoga class. Our intention is to show people how to get creative and get connected with their breath and with what really is going on the inside of you. So if you're out there watching and you're really interested in certain yoga postures of cat and cow and pigeon and all those things, 3D Balance is not that. It is really just a very
Basic.
It's a basic and an exploratory process that we want everybody to begin to understand. How is your body, your mind, and your spirit interconnected? And then to be able to talk about that and explore, wow, I carry a lot of tension in my shoulders, and sometimes that's because my mind and my heart, my mind's telling me to do this and my emotions are telling me to do that. And so when we begin to kind of identify some of those things as we explore our body, mind, and spirit, it's a little different, because some people go into an exercise program and they're really excited. It's physical. I want to really get a good workout, so they're focusing on the body and what's going on, and they want to get the posture done. I mean, this is more of make sure that what are you feeling and what's going on in your breath. It's really an interconnection that's a little bit exploratory rather than performing some body movement. Does that make sense? Okay, go. Sorry.
We'll go ahead and we'll work out the calves, and then we'll stand up. But for this stretch, you'll be on all fours, and you kind of just want to you'll pull your right leg back and press into that, and then go forward and backwards.
Carl, do you want to check and see if anybody has any questions in there?
I'm
Because we
looking.
haven't really. No. Oh, you haven't?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
And then go ahead and switch.
Did we lose anybody? Anybody hurt themselves at home?
Not that I'm seeing. Karen said this is so great to bring this right into our homes. But other than that,
And then you can go ahead and we'll do bringing your knee under your chest and just stretching in whatever form you can, whether you can drop down a little bit more or you just want to stay up. I think for those who are in a chair, how do you think you do this in a chair? Kind of pulling it up.
Yep, and you can begin to bring your leg over this way and come into that posture. Again, you want your hip inflection, a little external rotation, because sometimes even when you sit on the chair, you can see that one can come up this far and the other one doesn't go as far. All of that changes how you move, how you walk, the balance in your hips. So
So I guess like the different forms of ways that you could do the stretch, just sitting down like this, or how
Like
you
this.
yep. Or I guess could you even be laying down and pull it up?
yeah,
Yeah.
or sitting
Like
up
that,
this
yeah.
way, or coming down this way. And again, part of it is I mean, you know, you see dogs and cats stretch around, and I mean, they didn't need to go to an instruction class. You begin to move, and I think one of the goals for us here would be just begin to be comfortable in your own body.
Well, and I think that's what like here, like you said, there's no right or wrong way to do it. Just do it. Just stretch and
Well, and the other thing too that's really important when we talk about steps 6 of living well, we talk about live life in 3D. If you're doing a yoga class or you go to the gym or you like to run or whatever, I mean, part of it is to feel. I mean, you know, if anybody's been, you know, done any mindfulness, it's like you sit there and you realize that your thoughts are not you, that you're experiencing this thing. And so sometimes, you know, we see people a lot who may be really interested in having their body look and feel good, but you have them look in the mirror and they're not connected to their body. I mean, this whole 3D balance thing is to be able to let you just feel your body. And if you get to a part of your body that either creates pain or you feel, I mean, uncomfortable
thinking about that body part, or you're like you don't even want to acknowledge it because there's too much pain, or I think a lot of people, they're like, I'll just ignore it and then I won't have to think about it. But you've got to face it or deal with it to improve upon it, or I think the whole gist of the 3D balance head to toe body stretches, you're literally checking in and just doing basic stretches on every part of you, kind of forcing your body to say, you know, what's going on here, or what's going on here, or what's going on here, or how's this, think about this part, or, you know,
the interconnection or the disconnection that happens in our bodies.
And I think, when I first started teaching this, I was like, how do I teach people how to do basic stretching? And like she said, there's no right or wrong way to do this. Just getting comfortable and letting your body go into stretches and poses, and giving yourself the time. We talk about the gift of time, and not a lot of people will take 10 or 15 minutes to get on the floor and just check in with themselves and, you know, how's this feeling? And I think I think as we do these lives, I'd like to just kind of make them more like, this is your time to just explore your body, and we'll throw out some stretches and we'll talk about how this is important to do or can affect, or I don't know where I'm trying to go. So how like certain stretches are beneficial and how they help you. But I think just giving yourself the time to do it, I think, is also the first step.
The other thing that I think is going to be really important, and I think in this time right now where we're exercising social distancing, is the fact that a lot of times we started 3D balance because when I started to take care of people in my office who either had physical pain or had a distorted perspective in their mind about their body, you know, we could create a safe space where they could begin to feel more comfortable and confident in exploring about what's going on the inside of them with me. And then we wanted to create a space, if they didn't feel comfortable to walk into a gym or go to a yoga class, that they felt like they could go to a safe space and interact with other people. And I think one of the things I would encourage you to consider is the fact that this is, I mean, we obviously are connected by way of technology, but but it also is an opportunity to be able to communicate and share. I mean, if not with us, with people about really what's going on. And we talked on yesterday about journaling. I mean, when you take, and now you may have the luxury of time because a lot of things have slowed down, to really begin to find out when you do a body scan and you're aware of your breath and you're aware of parts of your body that you may or may not want to be connected to, you know, really begin to consider what is that all about? Because our body will tell us a lot of things if we listen to it. And if our mind is preoccupied by a bunch of negative thoughts, our body's going to experience that. And I think, you know, getting connected to what's going on here, and then how does that influence my body is really an important thing. And again, you know, bear with us because we're trying to figure out, even at Living Well Institute, how do we continue to provide whole person care to people when isolations for some people is, I mean, it's a very painful experience to be alone with yourself because your mind may do bad things. It might tell you bad things that your body doesn't want to hear. So, you know, as Kadi's gone through the head to toe and just getting you to become comfortable, you know, that's the first step to being interconnected with yourself so that then you can have some freedom and find the courage to be able to share that with the people around you.
It's like a first start.
Are we done with it? I mean, do you feel like you...
I think for now, I think I don't have a pattern that I follow all the time. I think there's certain stretches that I always incorporate and then different ones that I don't always incorporate. So
for any of you guys who are out there, is there any part of your body that you feel like now that we did a head to toe, that you're feeling like, wow, we didn't get to that at all today? Because I think usually when we're in a class, that interaction happens.
As we learn, yeah, I think I was talking to her about this earlier. A lot of our classes, I mean, a majority of it, you know, we have conversations during the class, and they're like, oh, well, I'm struggling with this, and I'm like, oh, well, here's something that could. So, as we're trying to do this through live and online, maybe just we'll go through something, and then we'll address something next week if there's more questions or concerns. I think trying to figure out how to help people without being face to face with them will be a learning curve for sure.
Yeah.
But all in all, I think, you know, we start with a body scan, checking in, where's the tension, where am I carrying stress, maybe just checking with your body for the first time in a while, and then we do a head to toe stretch, and then I like to finish my 3D balance classes with another body scan, so checking in with, you know, how do I feel now? Have I not fixed, but have I acknowledged a certain part of my body that maybe I want to pay more attention to, or maybe I found something that worked for me and I want to kind of put this in my day-to-day. And also just another time to just be still and quiet and allow your mind and yourself to go inward and kind of wrap it up and do your final check-in with yourself. So you can go ahead and we'll lay back down one more time. And as always, like I said, we try to keep you in the present. So focusing on all of your senses. We'll start by just paying attention to your normal breathing pattern. Again, listening to your senses, the sight, sounds. And then starting on your body scan, checking in with yourself from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. maybe you'll go ahead and you'll deepen your breath. So the 3-part breath again is filling up your stomach, your ribs, your lungs. And on your exhale, really letting everything go, letting all of that air, all of that tension, all of that stress, exhaling all of that out. And allowing your body to just sink. Allowing your jaw to release, your eye muscles to relax, your forehead to relax. Again, I think with the body scan and breathing and focusing on your body, as thoughts may come into your mind, not spending too much time on those thoughts and just letting them pass, and just being present with where you are right now. And then when you're ready, you can slowly either open your eyes or sit up or come back to earth. So these will be happening weekly, Wednesdays at 3. We're not doing any, we're not having anybody come to the office for these, not for a while.
Yeah, I think at this point in time, we're not exactly sure. We know that we do have some activities that are going to be outside. Check us out on Facebook. We've got a calendar on our website that has a lot of our activities. The other thing is that yesterday Kai and I did Live and Learn, and today we did 3D Balance. We've got an amazing group of people that make up our Living Well Care team, and so you're going to see over the next couple weeks, we're gonna share the video, the live streaming with an amazing group of people. We're also going to invite some people from the community to be a part of what we're doing. If you don't have anybody that you're accountable to relative to really trying to initiate a journey to live well, we'd welcome you to just stay connected, and we'd be happy. It doesn't require an intensive commitment, but just a couple things where you're saying, okay, over these next couple weeks as we are confronted with fear and realizing that we need to dig deep and find ways to point positive, we'd love to help be a part of that journey with you. And so feel free to get a hold of Kai. You can catch up with her on Facebook, on, where are you?
Facebook.
Just Facebook.
Yeah.
You're laughing, I don't know, did I?
No, I think I'll also just throughout, like I said, I'll be posting just some videos of workouts that I do. Not that I'm an expert in them at all, but
Yeah.
I just
Hey,
know
the other
workouts.
thing too, I want to just let everyone know is that our Living Well community, if you guys have any needs out there that are not being met by the existing resources, whether you don't know where to go or whatever, let us know. We have an amazing group of people on our team, but also between physicians and the behavioral health world and some pastoral care and community, people committed to community. I mean, our desire is to help people get connected to the resources that they need, and we're going to continue to try and support people. We're open at the office. We are available for people who are just feeling like you're spinning and stressed out and you can't find balance. Just let us know. We'd be happy to help, or even help you get connected to maybe some existing resources that you already have. So, yeah, anything else?
No, thank you. Thank you all.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.